Xenoverse 2 allows you to play as 8 different classes across 5 races, which is best for each playstyle. I have 8 level 99 characters, all skills unified, all body types and heights reset with the Dragonballs, all attributes removed, no clothing or QQ bangs. This is the raw character data. I will prove once and for all which is the best race for tankiness, regen, speed and damage. This is my ultimate CAC guide for Dragonball Xenoverse 2, Ki and Stamina. First, let's go over the excluded transformations. First is Powerpole Pro because it changes your moveset, you can be knocked off it quite easily, and it's also overshadowed by Potential Unleashed. Kaioken is also excluded from testing because it drains your stamina, which is actually quite pointless for a Ki and Stamina test. Become Giant is excluded because it drains your stamina, also pointless for a Ki and Stamina test. Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan drains your Ki, so this is excluded. And finally, Purification, which also drains your stamina, is excluded from testing as well. I'm going to test their Ki and Stamina performance in their base form and available transformations.
I will obliterate you.
First up is the Ki test, and we're going to use Elf Zamasu, a nice little mod created by Gokita High Ceiling. First up is the Freezer Race character. With each of these characters I'm going to drain their Ki, and then do a light combo and a full heavy combo, and we're going to see how much Ki they regain from their combos. Our first tester recovers a quite decent amount of Ki from his 2 combos. Now onto the male human. It's worth noting at this point that the human races, both male and human, have Ki auto regeneration. The male human recovers slightly more Ki than the Freezer Race character. Now time for the female human. Am I on my own when I think the underpants in this game look really strange? The female human recovers just as much as the male human. Now time for the male margin. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. And the male margin recovers a perfect 2 bars of Ki. Now time for the female margin. Introducing Stretch Armstrong's wife. And the female margin recovers just less than the male margin. Now it's time for the Namekian, the winner of the last heat. Also winner of last year's Most Stretchiest Man competition. And we can see the Namekian just falls short of the male margin with slightly less than 2 full bars of Ki. Now time for the male Saiyan. Interesting fun fact, our current male Saiyan here is acting out his childhood trauma of getting terrible bikes and presents for Christmas. And we can see our male Saiyan recovers 2 bars of Ki from his combos. Now it's time for the female Saiyan. Who doesn't want to punch an elf in the back? And our last results are in, and our female Saiyan recovers the most amount of Ki. Now let's factor in the additional transformations. Potential Unleashed will not be used because it actually doesn't increase your Ki regen during combos. For this reason, every character will have a base form reading, and any transformations which alter Ki regen will be included as well. From my results in testing, Golden Form actually gives you quite a substantial increase in Ki regen, while Super Vegeta, being the least crippling to your Ki regen, halves it completely, so it's not very good. So in first place in this round we have the Freezer Race character, and then joint second are the humans as well as the male margin. Now the humans get their racial attribute bonus because they have automatic Ki regen, giving them additional 5 points, putting them in the lead for this category. So in third place we have the male margin with 7 points, quite a respectable place to come. In second place we have the Freezer Race character with an additional Ki regen from his Golden Form transformation. And in joint first, with their racial attributes pushing them in the lead, is both male and female human race characters with their Ki auto regeneration. Moving on, now we're going to go into the stamina test.
If you get in my way, You will die.
Helping us out with our stamina test is Android 21 by Arcano, and the mod will be in the description for you to enjoy yourself. First up is the freeze race character. With our swanky danky timer, we're going to see how long it takes for a stamina break to fully recover from full stamina. Then we're going to completely empty our stamina and see how long a stamina break recovery takes then. I know this is really interesting, so I'm going to be throwing rapid fire DBZ topics at you just to keep you entertained. Now time for the male human. Interesting factoid number 1. Bulma is responsible for every major bad thing happening in Dragon Ball. No one would know about the Dragon Ball, so the Pilaf gang wouldn't resurrect Piccolo, there'd be no androids because they wouldn't piss off the Red Ribbon Army, there'd be no Tripton Namek because the Saiyans wouldn't have come because they wouldn't have known about the Dragon Balls. Everything is traced back to her. Well done. Now it's time for the female human. And kicking the lady parts. Interesting factoid number 2. Imagine if Raditz came a little bit earlier. He would have taken Goku, there would be no androids, there would be no Namek Saga, there'd be no Frieza, there'd be no Boo because no fighters would be strong enough because they wouldn't be trying to catch up to Goku. Long story short, Raditz could have saved the entire planet. Nice one. Next up is the male margin. Kick in your big fat nuts. Boom! 416, just like the others. Empty your stamina, and kick in your big fat nuts. Dragon Ball factoid number 5. For quite some time, when I was a small boy and started watching Dragon Ball Z, I thought that Yamcha was Goku for ages. Next up is the female margin. Now, when she has full stamina, she takes the exact same amount of time as the rest of the characters to recover her stamina. However, she has a quite interesting racial ability, where if she has low stamina and it would take a long time, it recovers 100% faster, meaning it's exactly the same. Next up is the Namekian. Kicking the balls. And a Namekian-related Dragon Ball Z factoid. Everyone kind of harps on Goku because he gave Cell a Sensu Bean against Gohan, but everyone kind of forgets that in original Dragon Ball, Goku gave Piccolo, the person who was the Demon King trying to enslave the Earth, who he just beat, a Sensu Bean so he could escape. Nice one. It worked out, but oh my god. Next up is the male Saiyan. Kicking the balls. Next Dragon Ball factoid. In Dragon Ball Z, Goku was very much the person who would always let everyone escape. I'm not going to kill you, fight another day, say sorry and I'll let you go. But in original Dragon Ball, he had no problems killing absolutely everybody and anything, even if he just wanted to eat it. Last up is the female Saiyan. Final factoid. The power pole, which Goku takes with him everywhere when he's a kid in original Dragon Ball, is actually the thing that links Kami's Lookout to Karin's Lookout. So it's technically what links Earth to heaven. So what does Goku do? He sticks it up a ninja's arse. Very, very well done. Excellent. Now let's take all of our results and plot them on our graph. And we can see that all of our characters in their base form take the exact same amount of time to recover their stamina breaks when they have full stamina. The only exception being the female margin because of her racial attributes, but wait, the Frieza race character also has a racial attribute that he recovers stamina while attacking. Now let's see what that does to the final scores. The female margin has 13 points, and the Frieza race is just behind with 12. Now we're going to plot all of our results on one graph and see who has the best out of everything. For Ki, we saw that in first place were both human race characters because of their racial attributes and also Ki regeneration. In second place was the Frieza race character because of his transformation for golden form. For the statistics for the stamina round, the female margin took the gold with a racial attribute of faster stamina recovery, and Frieza race came in second because he can regenerate stamina while attacking. Now let's look at our final scores. In final place with 11 points is the male Saiyan. Just creeping up into 5th place is the female Saiyan with 12 points. In 4th place we have the Namekian with 13 points. Not too great, but not terrible either. In 3rd place we have the male margin because of his decent Ki regeneration while attacking. We have a 3-way tie for 2nd place between the female margin because of her awesome stamina recovery, as well as the female and male humans because of their Ki auto regeneration. Finally, in 1st place, because of his stamina regeneration while attacking and his awesome golden form additional Ki regen, is the Frieza race character with 20 points coming in 1st. To recap what we've seen in this video, the Frieza race is the king of Ki and stamina regen because of his golden form extra Ki regeneration as well as his ability to recover stamina while attacking. The female margin, the male and female humans take second place because of their key auto-regeneration, and just edging his way into third place is the male margin just because his stats are kind of okay. This has been the Key and Stamina section of the Ultimate CAC Guide, a series in which I aim to answer the question of which is the best race for tankiness, key regeneration, stamina regeneration, speed and damage. The next episode will be going over their speed. But until then, stay tuned for the next exciting episode of AxoniusRex.